All right, today we have a very special guest on. We have my friend Megan Kool from Mega Strong Fitness, and I know you guys have been very excited to be hearing from her. So I'm going to hand it over to her and let her introduce herself and tell us a little bit about you.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. And it is really nice to get to do a podcast. I've done podcasts before, but never with like a close friend. So it's very cool that I get to basically just have like a discussion with a friend, And also, as you know, we're big fans of Melissa around here. We call her the mega strong nutritionist, whether she likes it or not. She's our go-to girl when we need to refer people. So it's also very important for us that we actually have Melissa's trust because it kind of backs up our theories. And so, yeah, I can't give you enough praise for all that you do for us and for Mega Strong clients. But so obviously Megan Kool, my husband Dirk and I run our fitness program, Mega Strong Fitness. We pride ourselves on being a family, just the Mega Strong family, and we also have a family. So my first and foremost priorities are 3 children, which are on the wall behind me here. So we have an 8-year-old boy, a 6-year-old girl, and then a 1-year-old that my baby just turned 1. And I basically just set out on a mission 6 years ago to prove to women that you basically can have it all. I mean, I know that sounds bad, right? Like some people take that offensively because they're like, well, I don't need to have it all. But for me, it was, I want to have a family, I want to have a business, and I want to have my health. And I believe that I can do that all from my home. I don't believe that I need an expensive gym membership. I don't believe that I need a personal trainer. I don't believe I need to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a workout program. I believe that if you have some dumbbells and an area in your house, you can get the most effective workout in possible and take care of yourself and also learn healthy eating habits without having to constantly track and count and just basically make it more difficult than it needs to be. I'm very big on clean eating, as you know. I believe in overall health. I believe in mental health. I believe in mental toughness and just becoming the strongest version of yourself. And that's what we try to do through these workouts is basically a holistic approach that I'm just going to use common sense when it comes to my workouts and my nutrition. And we're just there for our clients every step of the way. So we are a home workout program. We really blew up during COVID. I had done this program for 3 years before my husband joined. And we now have men and women across the United States, Mexico, Canada, and New Zealand who do our program. And we believe it's because we're just a real couple, and we just show you that no matter if your kids are running through, no matter if you don't have a lot of time, you can get an effective workout in, and it doesn't have to take up a huge majority of your time or your day.
Yes, I love that. Funny story is like I met you through, I was just wanted to become a client of yours. I had just messaged you online because my friend, like I had a bunch of friends that would talk about you all the time. And I was like, who is this mega strong person? So, and I live in the country. We actually don't live very far from each other. And I was over driving into town and going to the gym. And I also have a lot of stuff at home, but I don't like creating my own workouts. Whenever I do my own workouts, I'm like, oh, this is crap. Like, this doesn't make any sense. And I always negate what I do for myself. And I always have to follow somebody to like have their word and be like, no, you should do this. This is right. Cause I'm a human with a human mind and I will always question myself. And so I was like, well, I'm just going to reach out to her and do her workouts. And yeah, that's just like how we met. It was just like authentically online. And I was like, can I work out? Can you send me can you send me an invoice, please? So
Well, the best part is that it was just so funny how everything worked out, but you had started doing our program, and then I always try to, I quote unquote creep clients. And I was like, oh, she's a nutritionist. And then I was like, oh, she's in our area. And then I just reached out and asked you to meet. And it just so happened that you had the same, I guess, morals and the same just idea of how health and fitness should be that I did. And I love that you don't overcomplicate it and you believe kind of the same things as I do. And it's also for me, I don't like to do meal plans. That's not my passion, and I'm not certified in that. So I was like, hey, I will all day long kick your clients' butts as long as you help my clients with the nutrition part. And so it's like,
Yes.
what a great team,
Yeah.
that we
And
both believe in each other's programs.
yeah. And right before that too, it just happened to be that I was like, writing workouts does not create joy for me at all anymore. And I had like just let it go. And I was like, my clients can just go figure it out, I guess, when it comes to workouts, because I'm just not available for it anymore. But then I met you and I was like, yeah, I'd love to have somebody to like trust and be like, yeah, you should go to this person. Plus, my clients are just like you and I, and they're moms and they're working and they're doing all the things. And to be able to do a really good workout at home that I know that they are putting muscle on their body, which is always my goal for them, because they're usually coming to me with poor metabolism. And I'm like, if we want to get your metabolism up, we're going to have to put some muscle on your body. And we can do that really well at home with some dumbbells. And Megan will do that for you.
And you know how passionate I am about women being strong.
Yes.
That is, I actually, disclaimer, texted Melissa before this. It was like, hey, first off, I really would like to talk about women putting on muscle and the benefits of it, because that is my passion. And as somebody who, for years, I think every woman went through that for years, I just wanted to be skinny. And I just wanted to be very thin, and I cared zero about muscle. And I had, like, we're talking like high school, college, and I had this horrible idea that I could just not eat and do a bunch of cardio and then I would hit my goals. And I was like, one day it just all clicked to me, like, why would I think that I'm going to be lean and toned like all these women I see when I am doing no strength training? I'm not strong. Okay. I'm just doing hours of cardio and it's miserable. And I hate it. And I'm not eating, and I want to eat. I want to eat a lot of food. That's what and so one day it just all clicked and I was like, I'm going to get certified. I want to learn more. I want to grow. And then I started working at an all women's gym, and that gave me a really good understanding of just where people are starting. Like, I have a lot of people who are trying to start programs just like Mega Strong, and I truly believe that what makes us different is that I worked for a year and a half in a gym one-on-one with very overweight women and understood where they were starting at. And so that's why it's like I try to really focus on modifications. I just a year ago had a baby. I worked out up until literally the day I was pregnant. I completely understand what modifications are needed when you are pregnant or just when you're overweight. And that's something I really pride myself on, is understanding where clients are starting from, but then trying to also say that's not an excuse to not take care of yourself and to not work hard. You don't get to say, well, I'm overweight, so I can't do that program. Nope. You are going to have to work hard and you are going to have to try hard. But muscle is really, I like to call it the cheat. Okay. Putting on muscle is your metabolic furnace. It is what is going to burn calories for you even while you're at rest. It is the hack. And so many women are so scared of bulky, quote unquote, that they are literally missing out on, hey, I can work out this 30 to 50 minutes. We offer both. We offer a 30-minute lifting only, and we offer a 50-minute that is both lifting and HIIT. And you are really missing out on it's basically a life hack. Put on muscle, don't do hours of cardio, and focus on that clean, intuitive eating. Or if you need help, you go to Melissa and she will help you with that. And that's why I refer a lot of clients to Melissa who just have no idea where to start. But we both have that. It doesn't have to be so hard. It doesn't have to be hours and hours of time and energy. I mean, I can understand why people give up, because there's a lot of people making money off of people just really overcomplicating health and fitness.
Absolutely. Yes, for sure. I like to keep it as simple as I possibly can. I often get complex people that come to me, and then I'm like, well, we have to kind of like leave the simplicity to the side for now, but we always get to go back to it.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, starting like if you're new to health and fitness, it doesn't do you any favors to complicate it, because you don't even have
Mm-mm.
to complicate it in the beginning.
Nope.
You get to make just a few changes and you get to like see the changes. I wish I
Hmm.
had those. Sometimes I'm like, I wish I could go back to the beginning to be able to see like how quickly my body changed. Because now that I've been in it for a long period of time, like the changes aren't as immediate. They're not as gratifying. I have to work a lot harder now. I'm also older. And I always love when you say on our workouts, like, you're not going to become bulky. Stop thinking that, because there were years of my life that I actually tried to become bulky, and it's so freaking hard.
It is so hard.
I wish
So
that people understood that.
when women come to me and they're like, "Hey, I want to do a strength training program, but I don't want to get bulky," I'm like, oh, honey, like you have no idea. Like I'm actually in the phase of my life where I want to kind of bulk up a little bit, and
Uh-huh.
I can't get very bulky because
Oh,
when you're doing like 12, 15, 20 reps with just a weight that's heavy enough that you can hit that 15 or 20 reps, you absolutely cannot get bulky.
right.
There is no way. Like women are not designed to be bulky. So when you see like a CrossFit girl that's like really got a lot of mass, that girl is doing like 1, 2, 3 rep maxes with
Mhm.
insane amounts of weight. You
Right.
can't get there. You are not going to get to where she is. And I have a high appreciation of those women. I never try to criticize them. That is a lot of work. That is
Mhm.
a lot of heavy, heavy weights. And so if anything, what I am trying to do is kind of burst that horrible misconception that if I pick up a set of dumbbells that are heavier than fives, I'm going to just bulk right up. Oh, I
Right.
don't like that. I'm like, you really have high expectations of your body if you think that you can do that. Because
Absolutely.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to get, some big arms, and I'm trying to grow my butt, and it takes a long time
it
and a
does.
lot of effort.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, and then the other thing that I'm really trying to work with is because we do get, I actually looked at our stats the other day, and the majority of our people are in the 25 to 45.
Mhm.
So age 25 to 45. And I just wish they could understand, especially those women who are like getting 35, 40, 45, the life hack to like menopause and your metabolism with menopause and when estrogen is dropping is strength and muscle on your body and with your bones. Like as you hit menopause and you start losing estrogen, your bones are weakening. And if you don't have any muscle on your body, your metabolism is going to absolutely just bottom out. It is going to be horrible for you. Everything you eat, you're going to feel sluggish. You are going to feel like it's just sticking on your body. The life hack to women and metabolism is going into it with muscle on your body, in my opinion.
Oh, 100%. I back that up. I actually have, with all my clients, whether they do a group program or they do a one-on-one program, I have them watch a lesson that's called building muscle your 401k. Because that's how you have to think
Love
about
that.
it. It's your future, is the muscle
It's
on your
your long
body.
term. It's
Yes.
long term how you are going to keep your bone density. I always think of it when I have women in their 50s or 60s, and we do have a lot that come to us and they're like, well, I think that this program might be too hard for me, or I don't think strength training is what I need right now. And I have to be kind of the aggressor and be like, no, strength training is exactly what you need right now. Because if you are in your 60s and you have no muscle on your body, you are setting yourself up for a lifetime of joint and bone fractures
Hmm.
and extreme issues with your hips, your knees, your back, osteoporosis, all of that. And so I just wish there weren't so many misconceptions out there about lifting. I know that it's getting better. But we're still not quite there yet, especially I feel like in the Midwest.
Yeah.
There is still this like I need to just do endless amounts of cardio and that's the way I lose weight and that's it. And Mega Strong isn't for me because, I see her do some of these workouts and I just think that they're too hard. And it's like, well, I show modifications. And also, if you're not willing to do hard things, how do you expect to see results?
Right. Yeah. If what's
Well,
working isn't working, you need a different
Yes.
approach.
You need a different approach. If sitting back and trying to take every pill, patch, or shake out there is not working for you, maybe try something different. If you spent thousands of dollars on pills, patches, and shakes, and none of them have worked for you, why not just try a more basic, simplistic health approach? Maybe I just need to eat healthy and work out.
Absolutely.
I mean,
yeah.
that to me is the only long-term key to success.
Yes.
And I will never, like I tell people, because like they think because like we just went to the One Up Nutrition meetup in Miami that there's some supplement, and I'm like, no, 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 no.
Yeah.
No, 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 no. First, you start eating healthy. You add some good workouts in that involve strength training and getting your heart rate up there. And then we take some protein and some fiber and some greens powder. But you can literally hit all of your health and fitness goals through your food and working out. You can hit and water. You can hit every single one of them. Yes, there are going to be some gaps. Like I have a lot of clients who I feel like are probably low on, magnesium and electrolytes and things like that. And I do say, yeah, I recommend this, or I recommend this, or, oh, you hate eating greens. Well, One Up does have a greens powder. Or your knees hurt. Well, maybe you need to add some collagen. And that is what a supplement is. It is supplementing things that you're not getting into your diet. But first, you have to have a balanced diet.
Yes.
You can't have a crap diet. For one, you can't outwork a crap diet. And two, you can't have a crap diet and then just think you're going to supplement your way out of it. That's not possible.
No.
I could take all the fat burners in the world, which I don't recommend, but I could take all the fat burners in the world and work my butt off every day in the gym. And if I am eating like crap, I'm going to feel and look like crap. It's just how it is. It's not fair. It's not fair, but that's the way it is.
Yeah. Yes, for sure. That's why I personally don't have a supplement company, because that is a way for me to put up a block for clients to make the commitment to change their food first. And then once they do, then I give them their supplements. But I'm not going to, it just kind of creates like a little bit of a wall and a little bit of a barrier, so that people really are, if they're coming to me, they're really going to get the change that they want, and they're not just going to buy a supplement from me.
And that's what we always like. I've had people say, okay, well, first, what supplements do you recommend? And I'm like, nope. First, you're going to start my program. You're going to learn about clean eating, because we send the videos on clean eating and what clean eating is. It's a very basic concept. If they say, hey, I've referred a lot of people your way. If they say, hey, I think I need a meal plan, or hey, I need to learn first what protein and fiber and things I need in my diet, I'm like, I got a lady for you. Because I don't have with the amount of clients that are just asking me questions about the workouts. And also, I'm not certified. I pride myself on, I don't answer questions that I'm not specialized to answer. So if they need further help, I'm like, I got a girl for you all day long, but I feel that that's why you and I both, it's like, I want my client first to understand their body, how to eat healthy and how to fuel their body for their workouts. And then we can talk about supplements.
Absolutely.
But first, you need to get your nutrition in check, and you need to be moving your body, because if you sit all day at a desk, yeah, you are going to feel like no matter what you eat, you gain weight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you're not moving. So they go together. It's just, I am so happy that we found you, because, there's a million people that you can recommend people to, but until somebody actually does your program and understands what hard workouts we put our clients through, they can't help them adjust their diet accordingly.
Yes.
So that's why it is, you see every day how hard we are on people. You understand. Sure. Yeah, you understand.
You talked a little bit about your last pregnancy. Tell us how working out during your pregnancy helped you, and then also how it inspired other pregnant mamas to keep moving during their pregnancy and after the baby arrived.
So it's just so funny. It's such an older way of thinking, but I have a lot of women who come to me and I got a lot of scrutiny actually. You shouldn't be doing those hard workouts when you're pregnant. How could you do that? You're putting your baby at risk. Oh, I don't even think that you're probably eating enough to fuel your body for your baby. Oh, how could you be selfish enough that you would be working out so hard where you were breastfeeding? And it just was like, I kind of got to this point where I was like, back off. I was I am in the best space I have ever been with my health and my fitness. I went through phases where I hardly ate and all I did was cardio. I went through phases where I was binge eating and then I would kind of like starve myself afterwards. We're talking in college. I went through phases where I drank too much and I wouldn't eat all day. Like I went through all those phases. And right now I'm eating like 5 good meals a day. I do breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner. I am fueling my body. I love my cheat meals. If I want to have a piece of chocolate at night, I can have a piece of chocolate and I can walk away. Like, I just feel like I have such a great relationship with food, and all pregnancy did was like solidify what a good relationship I had with food, because all that did was make me set my game up of like, okay, I am eating to fuel my body to have a very healthy pregnancy, and I'm going to make sure that my baby has all the nutrition that I need. And I'm also going to set myself up to have the easiest pregnancy and delivery. And I did. I had a 13-minute, my doctor was just amazed. I pushed for 13 minutes and Tommy was here. I was up walking within a half hour around the hospital. I was moving. I felt great. I was walking on my treadmill 3 days later. I felt so good. And it shows you that I got back to my workouts at 4 weeks postpartum. My doctor completely approved me. She was like, yep, everything's great. You've completely healed. You look great. I know you feel great. She was like, get back to your workouts. It was like I didn't even have to skip a beat, and I felt good. And I breastfed for 7 months with Tommy because I fueled my body accordingly. And I just wish there wasn't such a misconception. I hear of women taking 6 to 8 weeks before they even feel back to normal after a pregnancy, which everybody is different. But I'm like, how much of that is that you didn't eat well, you didn't work out? So that was one of the hardest things your body had to go through in 9 months. And it took your body forever to recover from that shock of that hard of just a shock to your system. And so that is the one thing when my clients get pregnant and they try to say, like, I'm like, for one, your doctor needs to approve it, of course, if you're high risk, blah, blah, blah. But if you are a healthy person, there is no reason that you should not be able to work out through your entire pregnancy. Of course, listen to your body. Of course, I was sick in the mornings at the beginning. And of course, I had to push myself harder than most people because I run a fitness company. But the best thing that I could have ever done for myself and for my baby, who has been perfectly healthy, like the girl has had a runny nose, basically, is I worked out and I ate healthy. And that should be a no-brainer. And it's pretty funny for people to come to me and I know that they're like, oh, my craving is Burger King, and they'll drive through Burger King, or, oh, my craving is Diet Pepsi. And then they'll come to me and say, well, do you think that you should be taking that fiber or that greens powder during your pregnancy? And I'm like, are you kidding me right now? You just told me you went through fast food drive-through the other day and you're going to tell me that I shouldn't be taking greens powder? It's so funny, the misconceptions out there.
Yes.
And the people who really think that they know, about, working out. And I'm like, the best, I literally would recommend that to anybody. And I'll have clients who will come in, their doctor will say, don't work out when you're pregnant. And I'll say, well, are you high risk? And they'll say, no, my doctor's just old fashioned. And I straight up say, go find another doctor.
Yeah.
Go get another opinion before you listen to that.
Yes.
Not saying your doctor is wrong, but I do think that you should go get another opinion, because maybe they have that old fashioned kind of misconception. Like my mom said, she said back when I was pregnant, which would have been 30 years ago, because I'm 30, she said doctors told you not to basically do anything.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we've really gotten away from that type of mentality.
Yeah, absolutely. how do you see your clients that become pregnant and work out throughout their pregnancy with you? How do you see that they do and they like come back after delivery and postpartum and kind of like the not like bounce back. I don't like that term, but
I don't either. Yeah.
return back to human.
Yeah,
Probably
normal.
more. Yeah.
I'm actually really proud. I can think of like 20 women right off the top of my head just recently, but even women who have had C-sections, normally once you get one C-section, then you probably have to have the next one. So I've had women, and it's so fun because with having this many like such a broad spectrum of clients of all ages and all fitness levels, I get to hear from the ones who like their first pregnancy, they didn't work out and they didn't eat healthy. And then their second pregnancy, they did. And they are just absolutely mind blown, like by how much better they feel. They want to come back. Like they are ready. And I love it because I do feel proud that I inspired a lot of pregnant women and changed a lot of their mentalities, because I had women who they'll come to me and they'll be like, so how quickly after you had Tommy could you start walking on the treadmill? How quickly after, and I'm like, I want you to ask your doctor, but this is what I did, and I just think that women are so strong, and our bodies are so beautifully strong and capable of so many things, and that a lot of women really sell themselves short. And the most beautiful thing is when a woman realizes how strong and how capable she is, and then they have a baby and they come back and they're like, I feel the best I've ever felt and I just had a baby. Like that is one of the most beautiful things to me, because I'm like, I'm so tired of people acting like women aren't strong. Like,
Oh my
or
gosh,
that
yeah.
we need to be like treated like tenderly when we're pregnant. And I'm like, do you know what your body is about to go through? Do you understand what your body is about to go through? You need to be your strongest mentally and physically when you go into that. Why would you want to feel mentally weak and physically weak going into one of the hardest things you're going to do? So it's just beautiful for me. I know that sounds cheesy, but it's just one of the most beautiful things to watch a woman come back and send me these long messages. Like, I feel so good. And I wish that with my first baby, I would have worked out this hard, or this is my first baby and I don't have anything to compare it to except for my friends who didn't work out and eat healthy. And I feel so good compared to how they felt. Or people tell them, oh, wow, you're so lucky that you bounce back so quickly. And they're like, no. Luck had nothing to do with this.
I worked for this.
Yeah. I worked for this body. Yeah. I worked to have my body bounce back,
Yeah, for sure. So you run your business from home with your husband. You got 3 kids. You're very busy. What's your favorite time hack for busy moms?
Meal prep, which you will. And I am not, okay, so I don't think that I should ever be labeled as like any sort of, because I am not a gourmet chef. I am all about time savers. So like me, if I need to go buy a rotisserie chicken and shred it up and put it in a container, and that needs to be my meal prep, I'll do that. If I'm in a hurry and I know haven't had very much protein and I need to grab a tuna packet and eat that quick before we go do something, or before we go to Sawyer's game, we might need to quickly like throw some steamed veggies in the microwave and throw it in a bowl with some rice and some chicken. And that's my meal for the night. I'm very much so like stop overcomplicating. And there are people who I love my food to taste good, of course, but there are people who act like to eat healthy, it has to be this gourmet, overdone, hours of preparation. And I'm not about that. I love that you're doing the Buddha bowls.
Yeah.
Because that is literally my life hack.
Yes.
I'm like, I throw a protein, I throw, my lean meat, my vegetables, I throw my like whole grain, and I throw like a sauce on top, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah. It's like the perfect meal.
It is, and it's not hard. It's like,
No.
what am I feeling? Am I feeling shrimp tonight? Okay, I'm going to throw shrimp in. Am I feeling chicken? I'm going to throw chicken in. Am I feeling a steak? I'll chop up a steak and throw that in. Maybe tonight I'm just feeling a breakfast bowl, and I'm going to do some bison sausage and some eggs and some spinach and some peppers, and I throw it all in together. And it's just, people will be like, well, how did you make that? I'm like, I threw it all in a skillet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's become overcomplicated. And then like my favorite snack is like fruit. I love fruit. And I get asked all the time, well, I thought fruit was high in sugar. And these people will go eat all this processed stuff because it says like non-fat or low fat or no sugar, but they won't eat something that came off a tree.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
so it's just so funny how like the food industry has really like shifted us from, well, is this something natural that grows in nature, you
Mhm.
know, or that came from nature? Well, then I can eat it. To, oh, it says no sugar. And I
Yeah.
can't read one single ingredient on the packet, but I'm going to put that in my body instead of a piece of fruit,
Right, exactly. And
you
I
know?
I hear that a lot. Like, oh well, should I limit my fruit? Should I limit my sugar? And I'm always like, or they'll ask questions about bananas, a lot of bananas.
Why are
And I'm
I
like,
eat a banana every day.
listen, you did not get here by eating too many bananas. Like that's not the problem. So
Mm-mm.
let's just eat the banana and be really happy about the banana and let it do its job and keep doing
I,
stuff like that. Like just eat the whole foods. And the thing is like with fruit, yeah, it is high in sugar. So a lot of my clients track in my fitness pal for a while and then they'll get fixated on a sweet potato, the sugars or the sugars in a banana and think they should be limiting that. But I'm like, the exchange that you get with the fiber and the minerals and the vitamins for that offsets the sugar. So you don't need to worry about that sugar in your body. You need to worry about the sugar that's coming from a package, the sugar that's coming from the Starbucks drive through, the sugar that's coming from even like dried processed fruit
yes.
like that.
Yes.
We like to think like, oh, it's fruit, and then it gets nuanced, right? But there's always added sugar in the dried fruits. Like anything that's added in, like somebody put that sugar in, that's when we want to be like, oh, maybe not, I'll probably leave
And
that.
that's what I always say. I'm like, we're looking for the added sugar.
Yes,
You know what
not
I
the
mean?
yeah.
We're not like, I'm like, fruit, of course, I don't want to sit there and eat an entire package of grapes. Like, I don't just want to sit there and mindlessly eat like an entire bag of grapes. Like, of course not. But having a banana, having an apple, having a couple handfuls of berries, that is not what is going to get you overweight.
No.
It's the looking at something in a package and not reading one single ingredient or not seeing that it has 20 grams of added sugar or something like that that is going to get you. Fruit is, I don't track, so I don't, but it's just because I've gotten such, like I said, I've gotten such a healthy relationship with my food, so I'm not a good person to come to. Like, I tracked for a while to understand macros, and then I just got away from macros. But fruit is never going to be what puts you behind. Fruit
No.
is never going to be the enemy. Sweet potatoes are never going to be what gets you behind. Corn on the cob is not the enemy.
Yeah.
Okay. Potatoes are not the enemy. What is the enemy is the processed packaged crap that you put in your body.
Yeah. Yeah. And the I always think that the hope that somebody is having in a processed food is that it's because it says something, it's healthy, it's natural, that it's going to provide you with some sort of like quick way to get where you're going. Like protein bars or lean cuisines. It's like, oh, well, it says this. So then that's going to be an easy way for me to get what I want. And it just
Mm,
isn't. Like the easy
no.
way is to just eat the banana.
Yeah.
Cut your losses with lean cuisine.
Yeah, like banana, throw a little peanut butter on it, and I am one happy girl. And
Yes.
I feel like it cured my sweet tooth. It did all these things, and that is, I say, like, fruit is the hack to if you're somebody who craves sugar. Like for
Yeah.
me, I am a huge, like, I crave sweets. So if I do a little banana and peanut butter, that really cures that sweet tooth. Whereas I might have tried to go and eat a bag of chocolate instead because I love chocolate. It is and I ate way too much chocolate this weekend in Miami, and I'll admit it. But another thing that I try to preach to clients is also stop beating yourself up when you go overboard, because we're all going to do it. Like I said, I was in Miami. I had some sugary cocktails. I had some chocolate. I had dessert. I ate things that I normally wouldn't eat. But you know what? In my mind, I know that I have the mental strength that when I got home, I was going to get right back on track. I wasn't going to sit there and completely question my self-worth. I wasn't going to sit there and beat myself up and tell myself I'm no good. And once again, I failed and I should just quit now and cut my losses. I just said, you know what you're going to do this week? You're going to get back to clean eating. You're going to meal prep. You're going to drink lots and lots of water. You are going to get your workouts in every day, just like you normally do. And you're going to get right back on track. And it's not going to be a big deal.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
that is a long, hard road, though. That
It
is a
is.
long, hard road to get there. So I don't want you guys thinking that I'm sitting here saying, well, that's easy, because I did it for years. But the whole goal is that you're confident enough in yourself and your ability, and that you are going to just, I'm going to get back on track. And I'm not going to make excuses. And I'm not going to sit here and say why it's harder for me than anybody else. I just know that that next day when I'm back, I'm going to get up and I'm going to do what needs to be done.
Yes. Preach.
Yeah,
so true.
it doesn't have to be such a mental game. And I think that is, especially women, we make it into a mental game. We completely question our self-worth if we go off the rails. And I'm just like, why have I done that to myself all these years? Why did I do that? Why didn't I just say, hey, you have enough confidence in your ability and your work ethic to just get back on track? You know, it doesn't have to, you don't have to all of a sudden your integrity is thrown out the window. Just know that I am not going to quit this time. And I have enough confidence and enough self-worth to know that I will do what needs to be done this week.
Yes, absolutely. So speaking of that, this will probably flow right into this question. What do you find your most successful clients doing that others may not be doing, or where they might be missing the mark?
We're big, and we are both really, really, really big on Dirk and I on, okay, I am going to set my alarm. So first off, Sundays or even like Mondays for me are like meal prep days, and I try to set myself up for success, and that's what clients do. I found the clients that set themselves up for success are the ones that are always planning ahead on what their next meal is going to be and where they're going to get it and how. And even like, I had a client who reached out the other day who was like, last year during wrestling season, I never even thought about where my next meal was going to come from. She was like, I would just be like, I'll grab something at the concession stand. And she said this year, she goes, I just threw a whole bunch of healthy snacks and wraps and stuff into a cooler, and I took it with me. And she goes, not only did I save a ton of time, time and money, she was like, my husband and I actually enjoy just getting to sit there and have fruit and vegetables and meat and cheese available in a cooler for us. And she goes, but the thing was, if I wouldn't have listened to you on planning ahead, I would have never thought to pack a cooler the night before. She goes, I would have never thought to take it with me. I would have never cared where we were eating next. I would have never looked up a healthy place to grab dinner in that town. You have to, and it's not that hard. You have to think about what you're going to do the next day. So like the night before, I already know that I'm setting multiple alarms because I have to be up. I can't miss the workout. So my husband and I both set multiple alarms. I set my phone away from my bed so that I have to get up to shut it off. I set out my clothes for my workout. I get my workout ready. My entire workout area is ready to go the next day. My workout is made up. My computer is charged. And I know I'm going to get up and I'm going to press play. And then I have a general idea of what meals I'm going to eat the next day. Now, I don't have to go to a job, but when I did go to a job the night before, I had everything in my cooler set in my fridge. I had like a little to-go cooler and I had everything in there ready to go. And it was not hard things. I had my protein meal prepped, and I would take like a veggie packet, and I would take tuna packets, and I would take, some protein bars and some nuts. And fruit, and I had just all my snacks ready to go. And I knew I was just going to drink water. So I took my big water jug. I know that my clients who succeed are the ones who think like that. Like I'm
Yes.
setting out my clothes. I have my alarm set. I know I'm going to eat tomorrow. My lunch is ready to go for work. I'm ready to go. You can absolutely set yourself up for failure if you just go to bed that night and you're like, if I get up, I get up. Well, duh, you're not going to get up. Like, of course you're not going to get up. If I thought if I get up, I get up, my business would have gone down the drain 5 years ago.
Yeah.
You have to plan it out. You have to say, I am absolutely going to get up and get my workout in. I am absolutely going to eat the food that I brought with me to work. I am absolutely going to, if I'm on a trip, I'm going to plan ahead of time where some healthy restaurants or cafes are, and I'm going to know what I'm going to get. I am a menu stalker. We go on
Hmm.
a trip. I'm like, ooh, this is a healthy place. Oh, I've already looked up their menu and I know exactly what I want to get. That's just how I am, because if not, I might go, and when I'm starving and I sit down at that restaurant, I might look at their appetizer and go, oh, wings. I'm getting the wings. Or I'm getting that double bacon cheeseburger because that's what sounds good to me right now.
Yeah.
So plan ahead. And it might take you 5 minutes, but you just have to think the day before, what's my next day look like?
Yeah. And that's how I coach all of my clients, is deciding ahead of time and deciding one time and not allowing yourself to redecide the rest of the day. And that
Yes.
will, then in and of itself, saves you time because you've decided and you don't have to redecide. And it also allows you to bring up all the emotional and mental junk that
Mm-hmm.
comes along with food and overeating. And it forces you to process it and understand it and to deal with it versus continuing to go in that circle over and over and over again and never actually dealing with the mental and emotional stuff that you are struggling with when it comes to food.
And knowing that if you are strength training and working out, you don't necessarily need to be so, once you get in a good healthy relationship with food. The beautiful thing about clean eating is that when I am strength training, when I have more muscle on my body, when my I know my metabolism is good, I am eating 4 or 5 small meals a day and my metabolism is revved, I'm not worried about how much clean foods I'm eating,
Right.
right?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not worried about it. I'm just like, I'm going to eat until I am satisfied, not till I'm stuffed. I'm going to enjoy this healthy food and I'm going to feel so good in an hour versus feeling like crap and regretting what I just ate. And it's just getting past that mental block of, well, maybe since I've decided that I'm going to eat unhealthy, I'll just eat a little bit of it.
Right.
Well, I would rather eat a good amount of healthy food and feel satisfied than a tiny bit of horrible food and feel like crap later on. So it's amazing. I eat more now than I ever have.
Yeah. Yeah.
I eat more now than I ever have, more food. I'm just eating quality food. And it fuels my workouts. And people are always like, oh my gosh, you're a machine. How do you do that? I'm like, I fuel my body and I lift weights. And
Yeah.
I fuel my body in accordance with how hard I'm working.
Yes.
It really is not that complicated.
Yeah. And when you give your body the nutrients it needs, your hunger and your fullness, they're so much more clear than when you're eating processed foods. Because when you're
And
eating,
thinking, I used to not eat breakfast. I used to not eat breakfast. And I remember just being a crabby human being. Nothing felt good. I felt kind of nauseous. It's like, well, duh, you know? And so it's like those people that come in every morning and they're grumpy and they're, just not, I'm like, and I worked in an office for since college until 3 years ago, up until 3 years ago, I was working every day in an office. So I know the meal prep, I know the planning, I know the having to resist the junk in your office. I know all of it. But there's just these grumpy people, and I would come in just happy as can be, and they were like, "Oh, we hate you. Stop being a morning person." I'm like, "Nope, not a morning person. I just got a good workout in, and I ate a amazing breakfast, and I just feel good." So how much of those not morning persons are, they woke up late, they screamed at their kids all the way out the door because they were in a rush because they were going to be late. They had an iced coffee full of sugar and crap in it on their way to work, and they're now having a sugar crash. And their body is like, hey, I could really use some nutrients right now. And instead of nutrients, you gave me caffeine and sugar.
Right. Yes.
Like, of course you're not a morning person. Nobody's a morning person in that situation.
Yeah.
Duh.
You're
You
actually
know,
just a very reactive human.
yeah, you're just a normal human being whose body is not reacting to not being fed and having nasty stuff put in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Okay, let's do one last question. Tell us one thing that's misunderstood about online fitness and or Mega Strong.
Oh boy. That if you do Mega Strong, they're gonna, it's so funny because we do pride ourselves on a tough mindset. It's this Mega Strong is too strict. It's too strict for me. I've heard that so many times. Oh, you're too strict. You expect too much and you're too strict. Nah, I just think that I've almost simplified things so much that you don't even know what to do. Cause it's, hey, 5 to 6 days a week, we promote a rest day. We promote you going out. I call it my date night. I don't like referring to it as a cheat meal, but Dirk and I love a date night. I don't expect my clients to be so strict that they can't ever go out to eat. Now, I'm not going to say go out to eat a couple times a week, but because we make the vast majority of our meals at home, but we're like 80% of the time you should be eating clean whole foods. The other 20% of the time, 15-20% of the time, you should be having some things that you enjoy. Okay, once a week you want to go get a nice coffee, go get a nice coffee. I understand. Okay, maybe make a healthier decision on your iced coffee, but I don't want them to feel like they're not living their lives. I also don't want you to feel like, oh my gosh, I can never go out and have a drink with my friends. I can never go out and have a meal with my friends. I have to stick to this crazy strict little plan and I'm in this box and my trainer's going to scream at me if I, do anything wrong. We completely lay the workout out for you. You get up, you either press play if you're doing the email version, you get on the live, it's all laid out there. And not only that, we're literally trying to walk you through step by step with motivational quotes and form and why this is beneficial to you and why we do what we do. And I mean, we do pride ourselves on, we don't actually have a podcast because I'm basically talking the entire workout, love it or hate it. But I call it the Mega Strong podcast while we're working out. But I'm trying to just talk people through our entire workout. It's all laid out. We have a 30-minute option that my husband does, or we have a 50-minute option that I do. We're just we literally work for everyone. And I just wish more people understood how freeing it is. To just have a trainer that's there and got the whole thing laid out for you. There is no, because it is hard to, like you said, if you had to get up every day and plan out your own workout, you probably wouldn't do it.
No, it's exhausting.
And the gym is even intimidating. Like we went to Miami and we worked out in a gym that I didn't know in Miami, and it was intimidating for me. I didn't know where any of the equipment was. Some of the equipment I had never even seen before. There's these huge ripped men that are using all the equipment. That is intimidating even for me, who's very confident in my fitness abilities. I can't imagine somebody who's a very beginner. So it's just, I don't think, also South Dakota, the winter, if you ask me to get up and start my car and scrape my windshield off and then drive into the gym in a cold car and then walk in a blizzard conditions, I'm not going.
Yeah.
But when you're at home, I get up, I do my 30 minutes in the morning where I listen to my podcast or my audiobook and I get myself mentally prepared. And then I go out and I get an amazing workout in. And then after that, I get an amazing protein packed breakfast in. And I cannot even describe every morning the euphoria of starting your day off like that.
Absolutely.
It is such a good feeling. And if you can just stick to that and not give up on yourself for that 90-day period where you just are like, I am going to do this and I'm going to commit myself for 90 days and I'm going to make this a habit and I'm going to be enough, I'm going to be confident enough in myself and my abilities to actually stick with something and I'm not giving up this time. It's just, those people will never quit. I have clients who have been with have clients who've been on with me for 3, 4, 5, 6 years, and they have no intentions of ever giving up. They're like, if you're doing, I don't care if we're doing some water aerobics when we're 80, I'm going to be doing this with you. But that's my goal, is My goal has never been, oh my gosh, I want to have a six pack. My goal is longevity and being the strongest version of myself. Because I have two daughters who I hope can learn from me that going through the wanting to starve yourself and be skinny phase is for the birds.
Yeah,
Like, I wish I could have skipped right over that phase and just understood how beneficial it is to just be strong. And being strong equals being confident. Being
absolutely. Yeah.
strong equals walking into a room with better posture. Being strong equals I can play with my grandkids when I'm 80 years old. That's being strong. Being skinny, for the birds.
Right.
I have no desire anymore to just be thin.
Yeah. And the skinny body doesn't bring you happiness.
And that it's always going to be something where it's never good enough.
You'll always be chasing a number, whether it's the pant size or the
The
number on the
scale is a
scale.
liar.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
when I weighed 115 pounds, I was my most unhappy. And I am now in between that 135 and 140. And the 115-pound me would have been like, oh my gosh, you are so disgusting. And right now I'm like, this is my number. This is where I'm happy. This is where I don't have to fast or starve myself, or I am always full of energy and I feel good. And I put on a swimsuit this weekend and I was still confident. You know what I mean? Like, I feel strong. That is where I want all my clients to be. I do not want them chasing a number on the scale.
Yeah.
It is a measurement, but it does not dictate like how your clothes fit, how strong you are, how active you are, like how you're eating. It doesn't dictate any of that. The scale doesn't. And so, with my clients, I always say the scale is a liar, and the scale is just one single measure that does not dictate how successful you have been or will
100%.
be.
Yeah, for sure. And I think for everyone at home that's listening to know that if feeling that way or thinking that way seems like it's so far away, just know that it's possible for you. You can get there where you feel really good in your body and you don't care what the number says on the scale, and that you have that sweet spot of you're like, this is where I'm supposed to be, and you can get there.
This is where my body feels it's most comfortable. This is where my body wants to be. Because, like I said, for me to get under 130 pounds and still have muscle on my body, I would literally have to starve myself. I would literally have to be eating so little. I would have to be tracking, I'd have to be counting. And that is not the type of life I want to lead, live. If I have to be 5 or 10 pounds heavier and feel good all the time, the scale is not going to dictate to me how I feel or how I look. I saw enough people in my life who have literally, they have starved themselves to have that extra 10 pounds off. And then they go to the beach and I'm like, oh, you still aren't confident.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
literally did everything you could to feel good in that bikini, and you still are not confident in yourself. And so that is why I do so many motivational quotes. And as cheesy as it might sound, over the past 6 years of every day having those motivational quotes and every day saying, yes, I am worthy. No, that scale does not dictate to me. Yes, I can eat this. Yes, I can feel good about myself. Yes, I can have all of the fruit and all, yes, I can eat some peanut butter every once in a while. No, I'm not going to gain 10 pounds if I eat some peanut butter on my banana. Saying that over time and constant dedication to yourself and your goals, you will absolutely get there. But stop thinking that progress is going to happen in a month or 6 months or maybe even a year. Because mine has taken 6 years of absolute dedication and consistency to get to what I would call my sweet spot.
Yes. I would say mine took, yeah, probably about that. And
I would
it
say
just takes
maybe 5 years.
Yeah.
But still, like, it takes years of building yourself up to that point. Yeah. And like I said, the workouts and knowing you are capable of hard things and knowing you are capable of getting up every morning and knowing you can say no to that donut in the office, you do that day in and day out, and you will absolutely be absolutely become the most confident, or like I say, the most badass version of yourself. I'm not ashamed to say, like, I want every single client of mine to feel like a badass. I want them to
Yeah.
feel strong. I want them to feel fueled. I want them to feel like they can take on the world. And I want them to feel like they have the energy to be a mom and to go into a job and to have kids. Because if you are not eating healthy and you're not working out, I literally don't know how anybody can have the energy for any of that.
I know. Life is exhausting.
It
Give it your
is.
energy.
No matter what, I love my children. Children are exhausting, you know? And
Yeah.
if I didn't work out and I didn't fuel my body, I always say I need workouts and I need healthy food, or I would be a horrible mother. And I know that because I'm not a very patient person. But like everything, you have to work at that every single
Yes.
day.
Yeah. Good. That was so good. Tell me where people can find you.
So we are on Instagram at Mega Strong Fitness, MEGA, Mega Strong Fitness. You can find us on our website, megastrongfitness.com, or we have our Mega Strong Fitness business page that you can follow. We would love to hear from you. All of the info on our program is on our Mega Strong Fitness page. And we 10 out of 10 recommend Melissa. She has been just such a great resource for our clients. So obviously, we give Melissa a 10 out of 10 too. So.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And I will put all of your info in the show notes. So if you are listening to this and you just want to click and join right away, you'll have the link in the show notes. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. And we will definitely do this again.
Thank you so much, Melissa. I appreciate you.